Hello there, this is Rahul, and today we are going to cover the topic of AWS Global Accelerator. So, here, as you can see, this is our target architecture which we are going to implement with our AWS Global Accelerator. And this session is going to be a little bit longer because we are going to start and build everything from the scratch, which includes that we will set up two VPCs. One in our Mumbai region, one is in our Frankfurt region. And after provisioning the VPC, we will deploy some EC2 instances within that VPC. So those EC2 instances will reside in our Mumbai VPC as well as our Europe Frankfurt VPC. After that, we are going to set up load balancer in both the region, and then we are going to set up our global accelerator to redirect our traffic. But let's simplify everything and let's try to understand why we need to use the AWS Global Accelerator. So here I'm taking a very simple example that you have a car and you need to go to your grocery store. So there are two grocery stores which is present in your city. One is the grocery store which is located on a 40 kilometer and another one grocery store of the same brand is available on 10-kilometer distance. So what would be your possible choice to choose your grocery store? The obvious choice would be that you will choose the nearest grocery store which is nearest to your home, so that you occur a less fuel charges for your car and you can save some of your time, which is really crucial for you. And the same concept is applied onto the AWS Global Accelerator. For example, suppose if your user is present into the Europe location and your applications is deployed into the Asia Mumbai and one is in Frankfurt, which is in Europe, then how you will serve the request for that particular user? The obvious answer is the nearest location. At the nearest location, which in this case is Europe, which is from Frankfurt. So the Global Accelerator will help you to redirect that user request to the nearest location so that you can save the latency and you can serve that request to that particular user in a quicker and a faster manner. Let's start the demo. I have explained the concept of our AWS Global Accelerator. So what I will do now in the demo, I will try to set up the whole infrastructure which is needed to perform this particular demo for our Global Accelerator. And the first thing we are going to start is we are going to start from this particular VPC where we are going to set up this VPC into the Mumbai region. And we are going to start with this particular VPC, and in that VPC we are going to set up subnet, and after setting up the subnet we are also going to set up a route table internet gateway, and after that we will be setting up this EC2 instance as well as the load balancer. There is a lot of things we need to set up, but don't worry, we are going to cover all of these one by one. Alright, now I'm simplifying this whole implementation, and here you can see this is my AWS account, and in this AWS account I am setting up two VPC. This is the first VPC and this is the second VPC. And first we are going to work into the Mumbai region, and this is the VPC and this is the IP range we will assign to that particular VPC. Here is my AWS portal and AWS console, and on the top right section you can see I am into the Mumbai region. Now to create a VPC, in the search box you can type VPC, click on this first link over here, and here click on this create VPC button. And here it will ask for the option, so I will choose the option of a VPC only. Here we need to enter the name, so I'll copy the name from my notepad to create the VPC. So here I will put the name Global Accelerator VPC. I will put the name also Mumbai, and here I need to input the IP range or the CIDR range. So I'm going to input the CIDR range, which is 21.0.0./16. So that is the IP range which I will be assigning to this particular VPC. And if you don't know how to create or manage this IP ranges, then I have already created a video on the CIDR ranges. So you can refer to that particular video onto this particular YouTube channel. So that will explain this whole CIDR calculation and how it works. So this is the IP range which I'm assigning to this particular VPC. After that, I will leave everything as a default. We don't need to specify anything more for this particular VPC. I'll go and click on create VPC over here. And here you can see our VPC has been created into the Mumbai region. So if you take a look onto the diagram over here, then this is the part which we have completed onto the Mumbai region. In the same part, we need to complete on creating another VPC, but this time we will create into the Frankfurt region. So let's get back to our AWS portal over here. And here, let's switch the region, and now we will go to the Frankfurt region. And in that Frankfurt region, we are going to create our VPC. So let's go into Europe and go to Central region, which is our Frankfurt region. And here, again, in the search box, you can type VPC, click on the VPC link over here, and click on create VPC. And here I'm going to copy the name of my VPC from my notepad. Select the VPC only over here. I'll zoom a bit over here so that you can see. And here the name, which I will put this one, and here I will put Frankfurt IP range. So the IP range which I'm going with is 0.0/16. This is the IP range which I'm going with. I will put 16 over here, and after that click on create VPC, and that will create the VPC into our Frankfurt region. So if you take a look onto this particular diagram, then we have achieved our first step, creation of the VPC in both the region. Moving further, the next component which we need to create in both the region of both the VPC is the subnet, which you can see over here. So this is the subnet we need to create in the Mumbai region as well as into our Frankfurt region in our AWS account. So for that, I'll close this one and go back to my AWS portal, and let's check. We already are into the Europe Frankfurt region. So let's create the subnet into our Frankfurt region first. So I'm targeting this part first, and then we will jump and create this part after creating the subnet in Frankfurt region. So let's close this one, go back to our AWS portal, and here in the VPC, you can see this is our VPC dashboard. On the left hand side, you will find the options for a subnet. Then click on create subnet over here, and here we need to specify the VPC. So if you see over here, then this particular subnet is present within this particular VPC. So you need to specify which VPC you want to create the subnet, because if you'll see, this is the boundary of this particular subnet, and this subnet is always present within the VPC. So here we need to choose from the drop down what is the VPC we have created in the past, and the VPC which we have created is this one, Global Accelerator VPC in Frankfurt. So select that one, and here we need to input the name of the subnet. So I will copy the name from my notepad and paste over here. This is a custom name, so you can put any name of your choice over here. So I will suffix it with the Frankfurt so that easily I can identify it later. This is the CIDR range in which it will be created, and here I can assign my own IP range for that particular subnet. So here I will go with this one, .0/6. I will go with 24. And here you can see it will allow me to create 256 IPs within that particular subnet. So if you want to deploy any resource within this particular subnet, which is this one, then you can easily deploy around 256 IPs or 256 resources which can consume 256 IPs. So that's the logic behind the IP range and how many IPs which are available within the subnet. Okay, let's go ahead over here. So here we have assigned the IP range for our subnet. After that, tags are optional. If you want to put, you can put it. Then I'll just go and click on create subnet. So here you can see our subnet has been created into the Frankfurt region. So now let's take a look onto the diagram. So here we are done with VPC, we are done with subnet, and I'll jump over to the Mumbai region. And in the Mumbai region, we have already created this particular VPC, and now we need to work on this particular subnet over here. So I'll close this one. Let's get back to our AWS portal, switch the region, go back to our Mumbai over here. And this is my VPC dashboard, which you can see. And here you need to select the subnet, click on create subnet over here. And again, we need to choose the VPC name. So if you remember that this is the name of VPC which we have created, Global Accelerator VPC Mumbai. So select that VPC. Here we need to input the name. So I will copy the name and put some identifier at the end. So here I will put Mumbai, and CIDR range, this is the CIDR range of our VPC in which it will be created, but I need to specify my CIDR range for this particular VPC as well. So here it will be again same. I will go with around 256 IPs, and don't forget to check the CIDR video, which I will put into the description section also, because that is really going to help if you don't know how the CIDR calculation work. All right, so here I will put the CIDR range for subnet, and then I'll go ahead and click on create subnet. So it will create a subnet in our Mumbai region. So if you take a look onto this particular diagram, then we are pretty much done with creation of these subnet also. So we are done with this VPC, this subnet, and this subnet as well. So all of our 4 components are ready. Moving further, the next component which we need to create is the internet gateway for our both the subnet. And here you can see this is the internet gateway we will be associating with our both the subnet. And remember, if you are associating the internet gateway with your subnet, then that subnet is going to be your public subnet. And if you want to keep that subnet as a private, then don't associate or create an internet gateway attachment with your subnet. Otherwise, it will be a public subnet. But for this example, I'm creating an internet gateway, and I'm assuming that, not assuming, but I'm creating a public subnet over here. So here, let's see in which region we are. So I think we are working previously into the Mumbai region. So I will create an internet gateway into this particular Mumbai region first. And then we will jump to the Frankfurt, and then we will create an internet gateway over there. So I'll close this one, get back to my AWS portal, and here I'm into the Mumbai region. So in the search box or in the left-hand side of your VPC dashboard, you will find the option for internet gateway. So click on this internet gateway, click on create internet gateway, and here I'll copy the name from my notepad and paste it over here. So Global Accelerator IGW is for internet gateway, and I will suffix it with Mumbai because I'm creating in the Mumbai region. Then click on create internet gateway over here. So here you can see we have created the internet gateway, but this internet gateway which we have just created, I mean this one, we have created, but we have not associated with this particular VPC yet. So it is independent right now. So we need to create this association with this particular VPC. So for that, what you need to do, you just need to go into actions over here, click on the attach, and then here we need to choose the VPC, which is our Global Accelerator VPC of Mumbai. Select this particular VPC, click on attach internet gateway, and here you can see you have successfully attached your internet gateway to your VPC in your Mumbai region. The same activity now we need to perform into the Frankfurt region. We will create an internet gateway in our Frankfurt region, and then we are going to attach it to this particular VPC. All right, so here I'll close this one, go back, switch the region, and from here I'm going to switch to the Frankfurt region. And here what I'll do, this is my VPC dashboard. So here again, click on internet gateway. So here you can see there are no internet gateway. So click on create internet gateway. Here I'll type in the name. So I'll copy it from my notepad, paste it over here, and put the name as Frankfurt. And here I will click on create internet gateway, and here you can see internet gateway has been created. And now we need to, if you take a look onto this diagram, then I need to associate this with this particular VPC. So what I'll do, I'll go back to my dashboard, click on action, click on attach VPC, select the VPC, and the VPC we are working is our VPC Frankfurt. Select that one, click on attach internet gateway, and it is attached to your Frankfurt VPC. Moving further, the next component which we need to create is our route table in both the region of both the regions VPC. So here you can see we need to create a route table in our Mumbai, as well as we need to create a route table into our Frankfurt region, so that any request which is coming towards this particular VPC will find a route from this route table. So if a request is coming, then it will find a route from here, and that request will be redirected into this particular VPC, and that will be served from our virtual machine, which we will provision or set up later. But this is the reason we need to set up our route table in a nutshell. All right, so we were working in the Frankfurt region. So let's continue creating the route table first into the Frankfurt, and then we will jump onto the Mumbai region. So for that, I'll close this one, go back to my AWS portal. So here you can see I was working in the Frankfurt. So on the left hand side in the same VPC dashboard, you will find the option for a route table. Click on the route table over here. Click on create route table, and here the name of the route table. So here I'll copy the name from my notepad, paste it over here, and then I will put it Frankfurt over here. Here we are working, if you take a look, then this route table, this particular route table is present into this VPC. So we need to select this VPC name again so that it knows that in which VPC we need to create this route table. So I'll close this one, go back to my AWS console, select the VPC. The VPC we are working is Global Accelerator VPC Frankfurt. Select that one. Click on create route table over here. So here you can see our route table has been created. I'll repeat the same activity in our Mumbai region as well. So I will switch to the region and I'll create this route table, and then we are going to attach it to our VPC or select the VPC which we have created for Mumbai region. I'll close this one, go back, and I'll switch the region, go back to Mumbai region over here. And click on the route table, then click on the route table, and here I will copy the name from my notepad, put it over here, and I'll put it as Mumbai. Select the VPC, I'll select the Global Accelerator VPC of Mumbai where we are working, and then click on create route table over here. So here you can see our route table for our Mumbai region has been created. The next thing which we need to do is we need to create the routes for this, both the route table. So if you take a look onto this particular diagram, then what we have done, we have created this route table, and this route table association we have done with VPC. In both the regions. So we have created this route table also, and we have associated with this VPC. But now we need to define the route, which includes source, destination, as well as internet gateway. So let me show you how you can do that. But also you need to keep in mind that before you create a route, you also need to tell this route table is associated with this subnet as well. Okay, so this part you have already done. This VPC association with this particular route table, we have already done it when we were creating the route table. Now we need to do this subnet to this particular route table association, so that this route table knows it is associated with which subnet. Okay. For that, I'll close this one, go back to your AWS console, and here in this is the route table which we have created. I'll close this one, and here you will find the option for a subnet association. Click on this subnet association, and here you can see there is no subnet association present. Click on edit subnet association from here, and here you can see this is the subnet which we have created. Select that subnet, click on save association. So here you can see our subnet has been associated. If you take a look over here, so this is the CIDR range of our subnet. So if I show you on the diagram, then now we have done this subnet association with this particular route table. All right, same we need to do over here also. We need to do the subnet association here as well. So for that, what I will do, I will now jump to the Frankfurt region, which is present over here. And in this Frankfurt region, click on the route table, and here you can see this is the route table we created in the past. So click this route table, click on subnet association, and here you will see it is completely empty. Click on edit subnet association, select the subnet where we were working, click on save association, and now it has been associated. So now if you take a look over here, so we are pretty much good with this particular route table. So both the route tables are created, and this route table is associated with subnet, and this route table is also associated with the subnet. But now we need to define the route source for our internet, because we have created the internet gateway as well. But that how it will access, that we need to specify in this route table for both Frankfurt as well as Mumbai. So what I will do, I will close this one, and I'll show you how to create those route for internet gateway. So let's get back over here, and here this is the Frankfurt route table. So here you will find the options for routes. So here you will find the edit routes over here. Click on that one, click on add route, and here we need to enter the IP address of our internet. So remember that whenever you're working and you're creating a route for an internet, then the IP address should be 0.0.0.0/0, which means anything in the internet world should be able to access this particular VPC. So this is the IP range, or the CIDR range is for internet. Here we need to select internet gateway. So how it will access? So we need to specify the internet gateway for it. So here in the drop down, you need to choose internet gateway. And here you will see that the same internet gateway which we have created will be visible over here, which is our Global Accelerator Internet Gateway. Select that one and click on Save Changes. And remember, we are working in the Frankfurt region. So we have done the route creation for our internet gateway in our Frankfurt region. All right, so that has been updated. Let's switch back to our Mumbai region. Okay, and this is the Mumbai region. And click on route table and select the route table, which is this one. Click on this route table, and here you can see there is no route which exists for our internet gateway. For that, click on edit route, click on add route, select the CIDR range, which is this one, select the internet gateway, which is this one. Internet gateway from here, select the internet gateway of Mumbai, which we have created. Select that one, click save over here. And now if you see over here onto this particular diagram, which is this one, so everything is ready from the networking side of the thing. So we have VPC, we have subnet, we have internet, we have route table in both the region actually. And this route table is also associated with VPC. It is also associated with our subnet, and it also has a route for internet gateway. So our VPC subnet is ready, and now we can deploy our virtual machines as well. Just a small pause over here. If you are really liking these kind of a content, then I have a membership program running onto my YouTube channel, which you can join. It has a 3 level, like a beginner, intermediate, and pro level, where I keep on creating the similar content which is more close to the industry standard. So based on your suitability, you can just join any of those tier, and you can access these are the premium content which is only available for my YouTube members program. So if you're really interested, then please go and check those sessions. Those are really good, and it could really enhance your DevOps skill as well as cloud skill. And also apart from that, I have a Udemy course which I recently published for Azure Masterclass. So if you are interested in learning Azure, then you can just follow that particular course as well, which has around 50 chapters to master your Azure cloud skill as well. So please go out, check those both membership and Udemy course. That could be really beneficial for making your career into the cloud, which includes AWS and Azure as well. Let's get back to the topic, and the next resource which we need to create over here is the virtual machine, and which is going to be the EC2 instance in our both the region. So first we are going to create an EC2 into either Mumbai or into our Frankfurt region. So let's get back to our dashboard, AWS console, and see in which region we were working. So we were working into the Mumbai region. So first we will start by creating this virtual machine in our Mumbai region, and then we will create a one virtual machine in our Frankfurt. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just go back to my AWS console, and here I'm going to type EC2 and click on EC2 over here. And here we need to create the first virtual machine, and that virtual machine is going to be our Linux virtual machine. So here click on the instances, and here you can see there are no instances. So I'll click on launch instances over here. Here I need to input the name. So I will put EC2 VM Mumbai over here, just so that I know which virtual machine I'm working on. Here I will select Ubuntu as my preferred image, which is going to be installed onto that Linux machine. After that, I need to go to the instance type. So I will stick with the T2.micro because I don't need a heavy CPU, because I just we are interested in learning the global accelerator. So I'll keep the thing minimal over here so that I don't pay for high CPU and high memory usage. Key pair, which is important. So whenever you're working with the EC2 machine, then you need to generate the public key and the private key. So here we will use the AWS generated key that will create two keys. One is public key, one is private key. So it will create a public key and it will associate with that EC2 instance, but it will also help me to download the private key. I'll show you how you can do that. So here you just need to click on create new key pair. Here you need to enter the key pair name. So I will put as EC2 VM Mumbai key pair. So this is the name. And after that, I will choose the option as a .pam, then click on create key pair over here. And here you can see it is immediately downloading me the private key for me. And here you can see in the drop down, it has already associated the public key for my virtual machine. All right. And this private key, I'm going to use it later. I'm just trying to show you. I think I have closed this one, but let me open, which is this one, which you can see. All right. So I'll try to use this private key later, but you can just generate your key and keep that private key with you for later use. Okay. After that, in the networking section, yes, it is important because if you take a look onto this diagram, then we are working into this VPC, this particular subnet. So we need to specify in the networking section where we are going to set up our virtual machine. So close this one, go back to your console, click on edit this network setting over here. From the VPC, select your Global Accelerator VPC, which is this VPC I'm talking about. This is the VPC which we have created. Pay attention onto this IP range 21.0.0./16. Close this one, go back, and here you can see the same VPC we have selected. Select the subnet, which is this subnet which we have created. After that, auto assign the public IP. Let's assign it, but for security reason, you can also disable this particular public IP if you want to keep your instance secure. Security group, yes, I would like to enable few security groups. So first security group is SSH, so that I can use the SSH protocol to log in into that particular virtual machine. Apart from that, I will add one more security group which will allow the port 80 so that we can deploy a very simple Apache application. It is a very basic server. We will try to install it. Okay, so here I will enable that particular security group on a port HTTP, and that is going to be 80. And anyone from anywhere can easily access. So I will put the source type is anywhere. So anyone in the world should be able to access that particular Apache application from anywhere. All right, so I have set this one also. Then after that, what I will do, I will go to advanced detail. And here are some few things like what I'll do, I will not use this advanced section. We are going to install the Apache by ourselves into our virtual machine so that you know how it works. Okay, here I will just click on launch instances over here, and it is going to set up our first virtual machine into the Mumbai region. So if you take a look over here, so I'm going to set up this virtual machine, which we have done it. All right, now I will switch over to the Frankfurt, which is this one, and then I'll try to set up this particular virtual machine in our Frankfurt region. I'll close this and I'll switch to the Frankfurt region, which is this one. And here I need to put the name. So I will put EC2 VM, and here I will put Frankfurt over here. Ubuntu I'm going to choose. I will choose the same option. Then here I will choose t2.micro key pair. I will click on create a key pair. Here I will put EC2 VM Frankfurt key pair. So this is the name. I will put it over here. Click on create key pair, and here you can see it has downloaded me for Frankfurt. Now we have Mumbai as well as Frankfurt private key with me. Edit the network setting, choose the VPC, which is our Frankfurt VPC, select that one. Subnet, which is our the subnet of a Frankfurt. Enable the public IP, yes. Security group, so we can see SSH is already there to log in into our virtual machine, but I will enable one more security group for request, which is HTTP on a port 80. Source type anywhere, so that anyone can access that particular request from anywhere in the world. All right, after that I will keep rest of the things same. Click on launch instances over here, and here you can see our instance has been launched. So now what we can see over here is that our both the machines has been launched, and now we will do what we will do. I will try to install the Apache on both the machine. and I'll show you how to access the homepage of that particular Apache. All right, so let's start working with this EC2 instance in our Frankfurt region, and we will try to install the Apache over here. So for that, I'll jump to my AWS dashboard over here. And here, which is this one. Okay, so here click on this instances, and here you can see this is our virtual machine in our Frankfurt. So click on this instance ID over here, and here you will see these are the details, which is like a public IP and private IP, but we are interested in connecting and installing the Apache onto this particular virtual machine. So click on connect over here, and here you will find the option for a SSH client. So here you need to copy this particular command, and if you are using Windows, then you can easily use putty to perform the same activity, or you can even use the WSL, which will allow you to install Ubuntu as a subsystem on your Windows machine. And after that, you should be able to perform this activity from your subsystem of which is your WSL of Ubuntu. Since I'm working on a Mac, so I can easily use the terminal, but in Windows, you have to find the putty or either WSL to perform this activity. Anyway, so I'm assuming that you have set up all those. So I'll copy this one and I'll go to the terminal. I'll drag over here. So here you can see this terminal, and in this terminal, if you remember that I have already downloaded the public and the private key onto my local machine, which you can see. This is the Frankfurt and this is our Mumbai key, and right now we are working into the Frankfurt region, which you can see over here in the Frankfurt region in our AWS console. So I'll use the Frankfurt private key to SSH into our virtual machine. But before that, I need to check the permission of my keys. So here you can see the Frankfurt key has a read and write permission, which I need to change and make it the read only before doing the SSH. So for that, what you need to do, chmod 400, and then you need to use EC2 VM Frankfurt, and that will change the permission. Let's verify it. And here you can see it has been changed to read only, which you can see. After that, clear it. And then you can paste the connect command, the command which I have copied from here, and paste it over here, and then hit enter. It is asking for confirmation, type yes. And here you can see we are able to log in into our Frankfurt Ubuntu machine, which is on an IP range 3101.23. And if you can compare, then this is the CIDR range which we are working, which is this one. All right, so which means we are able to connect to our virtual machine. Now we need to install the Apache onto this one. So for that, I will just run this command over here to update the package manager. So here you can see I'm just trying to install this package manager, which will update the package manager of my Frankfurt virtual machine. It will take a couple of minutes, and once it is installed, then we are going to install the Apache too. So just be patient. Here you can see now it has installed. The next thing which I will do is I will install the Apache. I'll clear the screen, and this is the command I'm going to use, and I'll post this command into the description section where you can just easily copy those commands. So I will create a blog post and I will paste the link of this particular script into that blog post. So just find that link into the description section. So here you can see the Apache has been installed. What next thing which I need to do, I need to update the home page of my Apache. Okay, I'll explain. So just follow this instruction as is, and then you will get to know what I'm trying to do. So after I have installed the Apache, the next thing which you need to do, change to the root user. And after that, okay, let me show you what I'm trying to do. So here you can see these are my notes. So here first I have installed the updated the package manager, then I have installed the Apache, and now I'm trying to update the home page, and that home page is available onto this particular location, which is index.html. So I'll just update the content, and I'll just tell this index.html that I want to put the text hostname and the IP of that particular hostname, so that I know that request is forwarded to that particular instance, which is very simple. I'll show you how to do that. So I'll copy this command from here, go to my terminal, and here I have already made a switch to my root user. I'll paste this command and I'll hit enter. After that, I'll exit it from here, and after that I will just restart my Apache. So what I need to do, I need to copy this command and paste it over here, and that will restart my Apache. And after that I need to do the curl on localhost, and here you can see the same thing is visible. So here you can see this will be displayed onto our web application web page. I can show you that one also. So here, go to the instance, copy this public IP from here, go to the new tab, paste this one over here, and here you can see that we are able to access our Apache page from our Germany location on this particular IP range, which is quite simple. Okay, so let's get back to the diagram. I know it is getting a little bit complicated, but bear with me. So here we can see we have already installed the EC2, we have installed the Apache, and now we are able to access it, the IP range. So this is the IP range, but now we got the IP, so which is I'll close this one and I'll show you. So this is the public IP and this is the private IP. So we cannot use through private IP, so I have used the public IP instead, and our home page is up and running. Okay, so so far, so we have completed this section. Now we need to work on the Mumbai section. So what I'll do, I'll just switch to Mumbai section over here, go back to where am I? Here it is. This is our Mumbai section. Go to EC2 instances, click on this EC2 instances, and here you can see that our EC2 Mumbai is running. Just close this one over here, which is unnecessary. Click on that one, click on connect over here, and here you can see this is the command for our Mumbai region. So copy this particular command, switch back to our terminal. I'll open a one more new tab over here, and I'll switch to the location where I have stored my SSH key. So I will switch to the download, and here I have the folder AWS demo, and here I have created a GA, which is my Global Accelerator demo, and here let's check the files. So here you can see this is the key which is available for Mumbai, but it is also read and write. So I need to change it. I will make it chmod 400, and I'll put it like EC2 VM Mumbai. And I changed that permission. Let's verify it. So yeah, it's changed to read only. Clear the screen. Sorry, I need to do clear. And then I need to copy this particular command from here, go back to terminal, paste it over here, type yes. And here you can see now we can access the Mumbai EC2 machine, which is running on 2101.79 private IP, which you can verify from here, which is 2101.79. And also it is falling under the CIDR range of this one, which you can see. This is the CIDR ranges where we are trying to create. We have created our first EC2 machine into the Mumbai region. Okay, I'll close this one, go back. And so next thing is I will try to install the same Apache over here. So first I will copy this particular command, go to terminal, clear the screen, paste it over here, update the package manager. It will take a couple of minutes. In the meantime, I'll copy the next command over here. Let's wait. It will be soon over. And yeah, so I think it has downloaded all the dependencies now, and it's done. I'll clear the screen and I'll install the Apache 2 over here. And it should be quite quick because Apache is quite small package, to be honest, over here. So once it is done, then we will switch to the root user. So here you can see Apache 2 has been installed. I'll clear it, and now I will switch to the root user. Okay, that's done. Let's update the home page. So here I will copy this command, paste it over here, hit enter, exit from the root user, and then try to restart the Apache, which is this one. And we have restarted. Let's do the curl on localhost. And yes, we can access it. And we can verify from the browser as well. So let's copy this public IP of our Mumbai region, go to the new tab, paste it over here, and here you can see we can access it. Now our EC2 machines are ready, both in our Frankfurt as well as into Mumbai region. The next thing is we need to set up our load balancer. Now for the load balancer, let's get back to our diagram, and here you can see this is the load balancer. So for the demo purpose, I'm setting up only one virtual machine, but you can have more than one virtual machine which is load balanced, and then we are going to later set up the global accelerator. But now let's try to set up this particular load balancer. And here first we will start with the Mumbai region, and the same activity we are going to perform into our Frankfurt region. So let's get back to our AWS console. I'll close other tabs over here, and right now I'm working into the Mumbai region. So I'm trying to set up the load balancer over here. Okay, close this one. Go back, and here into the EC2 section, you will find the option for a load balancing. So create a load balancer, you need to create a target groups first. So here click on the target group, and I'll explain what the target groups are. So here, before you set up this load balancer, which is this one, you need to create a target group. So it is just a logical box, which you can see over here. So this is going to be your target group. So in this target group, you can put your EC2 instances. So this is my first, this is my second, this is my third EC2 instance. And this load balancer will target to this particular target group. And this EC2 instance will be like this. So here it will be placed into this target group. So that's why we need to first create a target group. And in that target group, we need to put this EC2 instances. It can be one, it can be more than one. And once it is put, then we need to set our load balancer to target those target group. Okay. So the same activity we will do it into our Frankfurt region as well. I'll close this one and let's get back. So here you in the load balancing section, you will find a target group, click on create target. I'll choose it is as an instance type. Here I'll put the target name. So here I will put as let me copy the name. So what I'll do, Global Accelerator target group TG, and then I'll put Mumbai over here. The protocol is HTTP port 80. That's fine. The VPC here, I'm going to choose the Global Accelerator Mumbai VPC over here. Protocol HTTP1, that's fine. Health check, I'll just keep it default. And then click on next over here. And here you can see it is already showing me. So if I get back, then it is. So we are trying to create this target group over here, and now it is showing me here, this one is available. Would you like to put that one into this particular target group over here? Then we'll say, yes, we want to put it. So select this instance over here, include as pending below. So now it will add that into target group. Click on include as target group. And after that, click on create target group over here. So click on that one. And here you can see our global accelerator target group for Mumbai has been created. Now we need to do the same activity into our this region in our Germany. So close this one, go back to Germany, which is Frankfurt. And here, so right now I'm into target group. So click on create target group over here. So again, I'll copy the names from my notepad. Let me open my notepad. So I'll copy this name from here. And in the instance, yes, I need to choose the instance type. So keep the same instance type over here as well. Target group name. So I'll put target group, and then I'll put the Frankfurt over here. VPC, I'll choose the Frankfurt VPC, and health check, I'll keep it default over here. Click on next, include the EC2 instance of a Frankfurt into our target group. Click on include as below, and then click on create target group over here. So now you can see our target group has been created. The next thing which we need to do over here is we need to create our load balancer. So which is this one. So we will create a load balancer in our both the region, which is our Mumbai and as well as our Frankfurt region. For that, let's get back to our AWS portal, and now we are into Frankfurt region, and in the load balancing section on the left hand side, click on load balancers. Click on create load balancer over here, and we'll go with the application load balancer because we are trying to deploy the application and access it via load balancer. Click on create over here. The name, so what I will do, I'll just try to put global accelerator load balancer, and the name is Frankfurt. I will put over here. The load balancer type is IP4 and the VPC, and again we need to choose the Frankfurt VPC because that's where we are working. After that, the security group, which is important. So here there is a one default security group, but we need to create a one more security group, which is port 80. So if you remember onto this particular diagram, then we have created a security group on this particular EC2 to allow port 80. So same thing we need to allow for this particular load balancer as well. So for that, we are going to create a security group which allows the port 80 for this particular load balancer. So here, click on create a new security group, and here I can do global accelerator SAC group. I'll put 80. Okay. Description, allow port 80 HTTP traffic. So I'll copy this one, which I will need it later. So I'll paste over here. VPC, so here we need to choose the Frankfurt VPC. Inbound rule, so here we will go and select HTTP port 80 and put it anywhere from, so that anyone from anywhere can easily access this load balancer and request that particular Apache 2 service. After that, outbound, just keep it as it is. We don't need to change, and click on create security group. So here it has created the security group. Copy the security group ID from here, go back to load balancer, refresh this one, and paste over here. So here you can see this is the security group which is visible over here, and now that has been added. Now here we need to create a target group also attachment with our load balancer. So if you take a look onto this one, so here if you remember that I have drawn this target group over here. This is the target group which we have created, and in this target group we have put our EC2 instance. But now this load balancer also needs to know which target group it needs to point. So that's where I'm just going to go and modify that setting to attach this target group as a listener to this particular load balancer. Okay, so I'll close this one, go back, and here into the target group section, here you can see this is the target group which we have created. It will automatically pop up. Click on this one. And now we are ready with our load balancer. So go down, and here you will find the option create a load balancer. Click on create load balancer. Okay, yeah, we need to choose the availability zone. So here I will choose EU Central and the subnet, which is, this is the subnet which we have created. So we need to select this one as well. VPC, subnet, security group, and the target group. These are the key components which you need to create your load balancer. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and click on create load balancer. There is one more thing, at least 2 subnet must be specified. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll just try to create one more subnet, and then we will try to create this load balancer once again. So that's one mistake I did in the beginning. So I will try to add one more subnet over here so that we have a 2 subnet, that's so that we get a maximum availability. So I think that's the one more back step we need to go. Now I am into the subnet section. In the Frankfurt, I have not created the load balancer yet. I have to stop that particular step now. Now what I need to do, I need to create one more subnet, but before that, keep in mind that just check one detail. So here you can see the availability zone is 1B. So one subnet we have already created in Europe Central 1B. So we need to create a subnet in another availability zone to maximize the availability. So for that, click on subnet, click on create subnet, choose the VPC, which is our Frankfurt, and the subnet name. So here I will copy the name from here, which is this one, and put 2 over here. The availability zone, then we need to choose, let's say 1A, because 1B is already there. So I will choose 1A, and here the IP range I will go is 3.0.2.0 because 1 is already taken by another subnet. So that's been done. Click on create subnet. So now the second subnet is also created. So if I close this one, then here you can see both the subnets are available. Now what we need to do, I'll just rename it as Frankfurt also. Yeah. Okay, so both are similar. Now in the route table, we need to create the association. If you remember, we have created the association in the first subnet also. So here in the same route table of our Frankfurt region, go to subnet association, click on edit subnet, and we need to attach the another subnet which we have just created, and click on save association. That's done. Okay, so now we have created the two subnets, and both the subnets are available. So again, let's go back to the load balancer now. Click on the load balancer. Click on create load balancer because that's where we have stopped. So select the application load balancer, click on create, put the name. So here I will put Global Accelerator LB Frankfurt. LB is just an abbreviation, and then I choose Frankfurt. Internet facing, yes, I want internet facing. IP4. VPC, I will select the Frankfurt VPC, and here now you can see the availability zone 1A and 1B, which was important, and that's why we were not able to create the load balancer. Select this one, and this is the subnet from that particular availability zone, and this is the second subnet from that another availability zone. Okay. Security group, which we have already created, which is Global Accelerator Security Group Port 80. Select that one also so that we can allow the port 80 traffic. Target group. So this is the target group for our Frankfurt region. So select that one, which we have already created. So just to give you a brief. So here we have created this target group, which is present over here, and this EC2 is present into this target group. So now while creating the load balancer, I am telling that, hey, this is the target group we need to use, and then you will find the EC2 here present into this target group. Close this one, go back, and then we are pretty much done. And here what we need to do, click on create load balancer. So here you can see successfully created, but the state is provisioning. So it will take few minutes to get this load balancer up and running in the Frankfurt region. So we are pretty much done with this part over here. And now I will jump to this Mumbai part, and then we need to work. And again, we need to create one more subnet in another availability zone, which we missed in our first step. So close this one, and since it is provisioning in our Frankfurt region, so let's switch to our Mumbai region, which is over here. And I'll go to VPC. First of all, click on the VPC over here, click on subnets over here, and here go to, here the subnet, and here you can see that we have two subnets. Let me filter those one. Accelerator. Okay. Yeah, I have paused the video in between and I tried to create a subnet in the meantime, which I didn't show you, but this subnet is incorrect. So we need to delete that one and recreate the second subnet. So that's just one point I would like to highlight. So first of all, let me check that route table has that subnet or not. So no, it doesn't have it. Okay, anyway, just forget everything. I'll just delete this subnet at all from here. We don't need this subnet. I'll recreate it. Okay, coming back. So accelerator, we only have one subnet. Let's check the availability zone. So it is into 1B. So I need to create one more subnet. I'll copy the name from here, go to subnets, click on create subnet, select the VPC, which is our Mumbai VPC, put the name, put it to over here. Availability zone, I will go with 1A now because 1B is already there. Here we need to put 2.2.0/16. Okay, then I'll click on create subnet. Okay, overlaps with this one. Okay, I need to put 24 over here. Yeah, then click on create subnet over here, and here our second subnet is created. Now we need to go to route table, select this route table, which is our global accelerator one. Click on this one, go to subnet association, edit subnet association and select the second subnet from Mumbai region as well. Click on save association over here. Okay, that's done. Now go back to the load balancer. So here, load balancer, click on load balancer, and here need to create a load balancer. Type is application load balancer, click on create, type the name. Yeah, I know it's going to be a long process, so just bear with me. Global Accelerator is not so easy to set up, and I'll put Mumbai over here. And then go to network mappings, choose to Global Accelerator Mumbai VPC, because that's where we are working. So if I show you, yeah, this is the VPC we are working. Okay, that's why I need to choose that one, so that I keep on reminding you. Yeah, you just need to keep in mind. And here we need to choose both the subnet 1A and 1B. The mistake which I did, I only created one in the first place. Now we need to set 2 subnet over here. Security group default is there. I think we have created this security group as well. So select the port 80 security group as well. If you have not created, then please create the security group for Mumbai region as well, or any other region where you are working. Target group. So we already created the target group. So again, same thing applies over here. So we already created this target group. So we need to tell load balancer to point to this target group. Okay, close this one, go and select this target group. And I think we are pretty much done. And then click on create load balancer. And here it is provisioning. So we provision the load balancer in both the regions. So here, this is also provisioned. This is also provisioned. So let's go back and check the status of this Frankfurt load balancer. Close this one, go back and switch to the Frankfurt region and global load balancer. And here you can see the status is active over here. If the status of the load balancer is active, then we should be able to access our virtual machine. Okay, so I'll show you over here. So now we are into Frankfurt. So this load balancer is working. We should be able to access this virtual machine into Frankfurt, and that should have an IP address from this IP range, which is starting from 31.0.1.0. The last digit will change. This will change. It will get a new IP from this CIDR range. Okay, so we just need to verify that part. So I'll close this one, go back, copy this DNS name from here, go to the new tab, and here try to access it. And here you can see 31.0.1/23. This is the actual IP address. So here you can see we are into the correct IP range, and we are able to access our virtual machine through the load balancer in the Frankfurt region. Okay, let's close this, switch back, go to Mumbai again. Check the load balancer. So it is still provisioning. So I'll wait a couple of minutes and I'll be back once this provisioning is done. And then we'll try to verify this load balancer in the Mumbai region. And what we need to do, we just need to copy this DNS name from here for this Mumbai load balancer. Let's refresh it, it's still taking time. And then we need to verify our Apache service. All right, so now my load balancer is in active state. So let's copy this URL, go to the new tab, paste it. Okay, I think it's taking time. Let me verify the security group. So here in the bottom of that particular same load balancer, you will find a security group. We created a security group for port 80. Let's check that. Is it a correct one? Okay, so here you can see I did a mistake and I selected POP3 accidentally. So I need to change this one. Instead of that, I need to choose it to HTTP over here. And I will put it like a custom anywhere, from custom to anywhere. Then click on save rule over here. And that's the mistake which I did. And here you can see it should be, yeah, now it is working. Okay, so now it is able to redirect. And now you can see this load balancer is going and pointing to EC2 instance present into our 21.0.1.79 IP range or CIDR range, which is our Mumbai. So here you can see it is perfectly matching with this our CIDR range. So which means our application load balancer are set up and our whole setup is ready to create and test our global accelerator. Let's move further, and now our whole components are ready. So now I will reduce because I don't have that much of screen space available. So here you can see this is the one which is our Mumbai region, which we have done it. Only the difference is instead of setting two virtual machine, I have only set up one. And same, this is for Frankfurt, which is available now, and instead of setting two, I have only set up a one EC2 instance. And now I need to set up this global accelerator, and that will route our request on these two load balancer based on the geographical location where you are nearest. Okay, that's fine. So what I need to do, I just need to go back to our AWS portal. I'll close all the tabs in the search box, and remember, global accelerator is a global resource, so it doesn't matter whether you're present in Frankfurt or Mumbai. You can create the global accelerator from anywhere, because this option will change over here. Instead of region, it will go to global. So here type global accelerator, and here you can see this is the option, and as soon as you choose, then it will switch, and it will switch to global over here. Okay, click on create accelerator over here, enter the name, and put my first global accelerator, GA. Accelerator type is standard, IP address is IP4, and then click on next. I'll just zoom a bit over here also so that you can see. And my first GA, that is the name, standard, and then click on next over here. Listener, so everything which we are doing is on a port 80, so you need to keep in mind that we need to select the same port over here as well. So select the port 80 because this is the same port we have configured in our EC2 security group, load balancer, and it's the same port we need to continue over here. Protocol, I will choose TCP. Affinity, just ignore it, we don't need to set any affinity for this particular global accelerator. Now here we need to choose the listeners. Let's see what options we have. Okay, we don't need to choose this listener. We just have only one port. That's it. Click next, and this is important. So here we need to choose the endpoint group. So what is endpoint group? So here, if you take a look, so endpoint group is this. This is the endpoint group we need to create for load balancer, which is in Mumbai, and another endpoint group we need to create it for Frankfurt. So these are the two endpoint. I will put it as an endpoint EP, and same here as well. So we need to define these both EP for our Frankfurt and Mumbai region. So here in this global accelerator section, so endpoint group 1, the region which I will select is, I'll select the first one is Mumbai. Traffic dial 100, that's fine. If you need to port override, but we don't need it, we will just stick with port 80. Add another endpoint, and here we need to choose our Frankfurt. So here I'll go and choose Frankfurt endpoint. Traffic dial 100, that's fine. And now we have selected both the endpoints. So now our global accelerator we are creating, and it is using this endpoint as well as this endpoint. Okay, we both have selected that one. Now what we need to do, just go and click next over here. Okay, so our both the endpoints are there. Click on that endpoint type. So here we will choose. Okay, so first we have defined the endpoint. Now we need to define the endpoint type. So first we have selected the region. Hey, we need a Mumbai region, we need a Frankfurt region. That's selected. Next thing is we need to select the endpoint type. What kind of endpoint you need to create? So that is our application load balancer. Select the endpoint, and here you will see this, the application load balancer ARN, which is popping. So select this one over here, and this is the application load balancer, and this application load balancer is from Mumbai region, which you can see over here. Okay, that's one thing, that's done. Click on another endpoint group, which is this one from EU Central 1. Click on, oh sorry, I clicked on that one. Click on add endpoint, and here we need to choose the endpoint type, which is again an application load balancer, and here we need to choose the application load balancer, which is from Frankfurt, which is already popping over here. Select that one also, and now our both the endpoints are ready. Endpoint 1 is ready, and endpoint 2 is also ready for our central region. Okay, fine. Then what I'll do, I'll just click on create accelerator, and now our accelerator is getting created. And this accelerator creation is time consuming, so it will take around 4 to 5 minutes. So here you can see my first GA is there, but here if you see the provisioning status, it is still in progress. So you have to wait around 4 to 5 minutes at least to get this accelerator up and running. So I'll be back once this accelerator is up and running. Alright, so after 5 or 6 minutes, I was able to deploy my global accelerator, and here you can see the status is deployed, and here this is the DNS name which is I am interested in. And remember that I am present into Europe, Stockholm, so I should try to access this DNS of my global accelerator, and it should lead me to the Frankfurt region. So if you take a look onto this particular diagram, then I'm close to this particular location, which is Frankfurt. So if I try to access this global accelerator DNS, then it should point me to the Frankfurt, and this Frankfurt IP range is starting with a 31. So I can show you that diagram as well, which is our previous diagram. So here you can see this is our Frankfurt, and the IP range is 31.0.1.x. I can say it can be any IP range within that particular subnet. So it should point me into that particular EC2 instance. Okay, so anyway, let's test this out. So here, copy this DNS name from here, go to this new URL, paste that one over here, and here you can see I'm redirected to the nearest location, which is Frankfurt, and this is the IP range which is coming from my Frankfurt EC2 machine. And no matter how many times I refresh it, my request will always land into my EC2 instance of my Frankfurt. So this is how this whole global accelerator works, and it will redirect your traffic to your nearest location based on your geographical location. And here there are few IPs you will get. So these are the Anycast IPs which are associated with your global accelerator. So I hope you enjoyed the today's session on global accelerator, and please don't forget to check my Udemy course as well as the YouTube membership program, which I have already kept up and running. There are lots of similar tutorials which are available using Terraform and cloud, which includes AWS as well as Azure. So please go check out, and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you into the next session. Till then, take care and bye bye.